Greetings everyone. Welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. This is Aisha, your Tuesday vlogger. And this week's question is about 5 layers to it. So I want to go ahead and get started. My opening statement in this video was something that I learned at the meet and greet this year in Vegas through Katie J, who was one of the speakers during the Saturday conference. And I have loved and embraced that statement ever since, and have shared it on my own channel, which is Grell and Be Gone. There you can find my story of weight loss surgery. I am headed into 19 months post-op, 18 and a half months post-op gastric bypass, and I have gone on to lose 190 pounds and maintaining my weight loss lifestyle in the last 6 months. So I've been in maintenance 6 months. And this topic of regain, this topic of regain was one of the first sort of big topics that was being talked about in just about every conference that I had gone to as a pre-op person. I started this journey at 355 pounds. In November of 2010, I had a laparoscopic gastric bypass. And so I was going to seminars prior to surgery and trying to learn everything I could. And I remember, being in support groups, various support groups, at different sort of sessions about weight loss surgery. And many people were in quote-unquote regain, struggling with regain. Some people had rebounded from regain. And so, there was this, sort of, oh my God, what is this regain stuff? What is my definition of regain? So, to me, regain for a weight loss surgery person or a person who went on Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or did their own kind of diet, is that the person is in a continual cycle of weight gain. So they have perhaps reached a goal or never reached their weight loss goal and sort of have quit the fight, picked up the bad habits, perhaps stopped going to the gym or taking their normal evening walks. One thing has led to another with their diet, and they have begun to gain weight on a regular basis. They are gaining weight, and therefore they are in regain. Okay, so that's sort of how I see regain. It's a culmination of things. And then the next question is, do you fear it? And I remember when I first got into maintenance, I had gone to one of my surgeon seminars because I wanted to just sort of ask the question, what is this regain? Now this is post-op. This is, 12 months after I had surgery. I lost weight. I was in the first few weeks of being in maintenance. And it appeared, the way people talk about regain, it appeared that regain will jump on you. Like it's just going to jump out of the closet and jump on your body, and you're going to be in regain. The way people just sort of casually say, here are the statistics, you can just expect it, everybody regains. I mean, no one ever speaks up and says, hey, you can live without regain. At least that's what it appeared to me at the time. And so I don't live in fear of regain, but I had to ask the question of one of the surgeons when I went to the seminar. I was like, what is this? Like, is it just going to jump out of nowhere? Basically, that was my thought process, because that's the way, people talk about it. And, he clearly said to me that it's just not something that just happens. People go back to their old habits and stop moving their bodies physically, and therefore they begin to get in a cycle and begin to gain weight. And that just was like a sigh of relief that I have a chance. I have a chance to live my life forward, to pick myself up when I make mistakes in the way that I like to live, and I can move forward without fearing regain, because it's not something that's just going to happen. We open the door to it by our behavior. And I think about Dr. Katz, who spoke at Vegas, at the Vegas meet and greet, and he gave 3 symbols, if you will. He said feet, forks, and fingers. And the feet portion is moving our bodies physically on a regular basis to get physical fitness and to keep our bodies in shape. And then the fork piece is, what are you doing with what you're eating? Are you following the rules around your tool that were given to you by your healthcare provider? And then the fingers is that it's in my hands. I have the power and the right to choose whether or not I want to exercise self-control or get the help that I need from an emotional standpoint about my behavior around food. Like, it's really in my hands. I don't have to be a statistic. I don't have to live in a cycle of regain. And that's sort of where I have left the idea of being afraid of regain. There's no reason to be afraid of it if I have made the decision on a daily basis to fight for my freedom. You know, because I like the person that I have become. I enjoy, you know, some of the simple things in life, like crossing my legs and being able to shop in the junior section. I choose to hold on to those things and remind myself how far I've come through pictures, and I do it on a weekly basis on Facebook. And so all of that ties into, no, I'm not going to fear regain, because for me, I have too much to lose, and that is the freedom that I have gained because I chose to lose weight and to fight for my freedom. And so the next question is, what checks and balances do you have in place to combat regain? And the checks and balances for me was because I had never reached a weight loss goal, nor whatever weight that I lost in the past had I ever kept off more than a day. In terms of, you know, my last go at Weight Watchers, I think I lost 16 pounds, this was 2007, and had gone on to gain 85. So by May 2007, I started Weight Watchers February, May, I think I lost 16 pounds, and by the following May, at least the following May, I was 85 pounds heavier. So having significant weight loss, 190 pounds, and maintaining that weight loss is huge. And so as soon as I reached goal, I did not immediately run back to the foods that I had eaten pre-op. I get regular exercise as things that I do for the checks and balances to combat regain. I set things out in front of me to work towards. So for example, I work towards being able to do a 10K, now preparing to work towards doing a half marathon. These are things that I have to look forward to, and so I can't afford to gain weight. Many of you have heard me talk about my reward gift. It was very expensive, and for me, I know that I don't want to get bigger than the ability to wear the gift that I got for myself. And so the checks and balances come in with asking myself every day, you know, am I acting like a bariatric patient? Am I acting like someone who has a very small pouch? And on those times when I do eat, you know, outside of my normal box, I make sure that I reel it in. So meaning I can't, you know, have every single thing I want every time I turn around. Some days you just have to say no to yourself. I also check in with friends when I feel like I'm a little out of control, and I ask for some support, and I get that support, and then I move on. And it is regular self-talk, you know, as part of my checks and balances. Journaling, reading books that will help me, going to support group, going to the meet and greet, and going to the classes. You know, those are things that I do to keep checks and balances in place in my life to combat regain. And then the next question is, did your bariatric surgeon warn you or suggest to you that regain is normal and expected? And no, in my case, thankfully, my bariatric surgeon's position has been, you know, he says, gal, and he says, you know, you've done well, you don't need to lose any more weight. And how people regain is that they stop doing what they're doing. And he told me to keep doing what I'm doing. He was like, keep doing regular exercise, keep your calories around 1,200 a day, and you will be fine. And so this notion that regain should be expected, you know, a lady left a comment on my Grill and Be Gone video, my last one, and she said that in her surgeons group and support things, they were told it's expected. And it just, you know, tears could have shot out my eyes, because that's just not true. Our feet, forks, and fingers have power over whether or not we regain. And, you know, set aside when someone has a medical condition that randomly happens in their life, perhaps they have to go on steroids, and so things like that are not part of regain. Regain, to me, in my early definition in this video that I just explained, totally has to do with our behavior. Think about all the diets you've gone on in the past and you regained weight. What happened that you regained weight? You know, it's not different for a weight loss surgery person. You know, just like I just told my story about Weight Watchers, I know every Suzy Q I had and every Snickers I had that helped put that 85 pounds back on me, and certainly wasn't getting any exercise. And so for people to suggest that we should expect regain, for me, fresh out of, you know, surgery, basically 18.5 months, and knowing what I know, it's just not realistic that we should sit here and expect regain in our lives. I didn't have weight loss surgery to go on a diet. I want it to be so different. And as I opened this video, you know, Katie J taught me only the same person will become obese again. And so, you know, I hope that those who have been told such things, you know, really think about it, that there's no reason to sit up and just wait for regain. Illogical. To me, illogical. Just like I said with how, you know, we go on diets and we gain weight. How did you do it? How did you gain the weight? So anyway, the last question to this is, have you battled regain on your journey? I have not. I am extraordinarily grateful that I have had the experience that I've had with this journey. My lifetime maintenance range is 165 pounds to 175 pounds. My goal weight was 174 pounds, and I hang around anywhere from 163 to 168, and when I see the number going into the 168, I reel it back. I don't like to be 169. I have a goal inside my lifetime maintenance range that I don't want to be 170 anything. That's my personal goal. And I remember, you know, being a Weight Watcher and listening to my teacher, and for those of you who know Weight Watchers, you would go to the session and you have a teacher there. And that, you know, the teacher was like, they only are allowed a 5-pound window. They weigh in every month. I don't know what it is for them now, but they had a 5-pound window, and they couldn't be over that 5-pound window before their Weight Watcher leadership would probably have a conversation with them. And so when you set a range for yourself, whether you want to call it a lifetime maintenance range or not, or like in my case, I have a maintenance range, and then inside of that, I like to stay in a certain place. That's my fight, week to week. That's my fight, to stay in my box, to stay in my little 5-pound window. And again, I tie it back to something simple that I learned way back when from a Weight Watchers teacher, you know, how they had to control themselves. And in a month, that scale couldn't be up 5 pounds. And so with that being said, you know, I hope that those who are watching this channel, maybe for the first time, and they're just, you guys are, you know, perhaps looking for answers about regain, and maybe you're curious about the surgery, don't fear the regain. You know, worry more about how are you moving your body physically, what are you doing with your fork, and how are you taking responsibility for your journey, for your life, with your hand. You know, it's all in our hands. And ultimately that means the choices that we make every day. I'm in it to win it. I'm trying every day to hold my end of the bargain with myself. I love those moments in maintenance when I eat what I want and I pick myself back up and I move on. You know, it's a great journey. It's a great opportunity to fight for this one thing that I dreamed of for so many years. I wanted to be slim, and I don't want to give that up. And so I'm going to the best of my ability, use my feet, use my fork, and use my fingers in the most appropriate way for my lifestyle. And so with that being said, I'm going to close for this Tuesday. This is Aisha with Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. And you can find me on Facebook as Shea Leonard. And again, my channel here on YouTube is Grow and Be Gone. And I wish everybody the best in their weight loss surgery journey. Bye-bye.